Misinformation, fake news, social media. There are growing concerns across the internet as the authenticity of content online is becoming more and more difficult to determine. Deepfakes are one such tool being used to obscure the truth. Deepfakes are an artificial intelligence deep learning software which analyzes images of an individual's face, sometimes thousands of them, in order to construct a digital model. The more photos of different angles and expressions, the better output. From there, the video is superimposed onto the movements of someone else. With additional minor visual effects and even voice manipulation, the output can be blended on top of the source footage to make a more convincing fakery. I sought out to research deepfakes further with two questions in the back of my mind. 1. How are deepfakes presented and represented online? And 2. How do deepfakes of public figures interfere with public perception? Deepfakes have predominantly targeted females up to 85%. Most of whom are celebrities in the fashion, sport, and entertainment industries. Deepfakes are so convincing and effective nowadays because there is a degree of trust and believability that the public place on video and images. Increased exposure to disinformation at the same time decreases the importance of truth, as fact and opinion are blurred and sources of information are no longer respected. The TV series The Capture takes the concept of deepfakes and shows us in a Black Mirror-esque way how it might be used in a realistic setting. In the show, the British government gathers intelligence illegally and use deepfakes, in the show called Correction, to manipulate CCTV footage and to frame suspects. It takes intelligence and turns it into usable evidence. Correction is not fake evidence, it's truth reenacted. It paints a realistic portrayal of the dangers this technology is capable of, and it's quite frightening. It's the public's reliance and trust in video evidence which allows us to be manipulated in this way. This might seem far-fetched to some, but it's already happening. On the 16th of March 2022, a video went viral as the Ukrainian president Volodymyr Zelensky told his people to surrender to the invading Russian force. It was originally aired on the television network Ukrainia 24 after they were hacked. Although the quality was poor, it is still seen as the first use of deepfake technology as a form of political sabotage and as a glimpse at the future of misinformation. According to Bobby Allen of NPR, the video, regardless of where it came from and its quality, could potentially make some people question the veracity of videos of Zelensky in the future. Deepfakes can make us vulnerable to other things such as fraud, online scams, political manipulation, and raises ethical questions on the use of one's identity. Now so far, deepfakes have seen all chaos and doom, but there are upsides. This Tom Cruise video created by Chris Umi showcases the process of creating an artificial likeness through open software along with additional VFX created for the purpose of parody and satire and distributed through various social media. Using an impersonator who looks somewhat like Tom Cruise to perform with similar mannerisms and voice helps better sell the illusion of the deepfake. In this context, it shows deepfakes as a tool for entertainment. In fact, the possibilities for deepfakes are extensive. It can be used for recreating old or dead artists, auto-generate news reports with realistic AI presenters, transforming art, adapt movies to lip-sync to different languages and their localizations, recreate audio for those who have lost their voice, and more. Deepfakes can be used for good and bad, art or manipulation. It all depends on those who use it. However, it poses a real threat to the authenticity and believability of what we see online, and can permanently change and damage what we perceive to be the truth. Before I go, I wanted to leave off with this final scene from The Capture. A big spoiler, yes, but it perfectly captures the eerie dangers of deepfakes and what we should all do when this kind of content is out there.
Don't worry. People will think this is some outlandish conspiracy theory.
Well, people should question it. And we need to challenge everything we're told and question everything we see. We need to ask of every voice on every recording, of every image on every screen, how do we know this is real? In this interview, for example. It purports to be a live broadcast.
Well, it is a live broadcast.
Can you prove it?
Well, I can go online, show the latest news headlines.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. But what about me?
What about you?
Well, I look like Isaac Turner. I sound like Isaac Turner. But how do we know I'm the real deal? Who's to say the real Isaac Turner isn't in a car right now on the way to Piccadilly Circus? Who's to say the cameras filming this interview haven't been hacked? Who's to say Isaac Turner's image hasn't been captured and animated by artificial intelligence? Who's to say, since the very start of this interview, while you believed you were watching Isaac Turner, you weren't in fact watching me? A deep fake. It's impossible to say.